the secret files of Teletraan 2.
Hello everyone and welcome to the comic show. Yes, somewhere in the world a comic is being read, and in that world we will talk about a different comic, not the one that's being read, because the sales figures for this series have dropped. Right. With me today is Andy, as always. Hello, Andy.
Hello, Michael.
Did you know the sales figures have dropped?
I mean, I'm not surprised. I hear not only because of the thing going around, but the drop's been happening for a while, just in general, hasn't it? Like for a good few, years now.
Couple of years now, I'd say.
Yeah, I heard that the decline kind of started more in like 2001ish. Like we had the boom, and then we had
that's
like
just the comic.
slow.
The comic. Apparently, technically, we are selling plenty of comics these days, but
are we?
Yeah. So I looked into it once, and just like if you're actually looking at numbers and costs and everything else, the comic industry is not losing money.
Is that separating graphic novels and manga though, or is that?
No, what I was going to say that's not separating is DC, Marvel, and everyone else.
Right. Yeah.
So DC and Marvel are plowing along as always. Like I think Image is the only one of the other companies that's still up there.
Is it true that one Wolverine comic recently came out? Recently, I don't know how long ago, and it was like $7.99?
I think so.
Oh my god. No.
The question is which Wolverine? Now there's two.
I don't think it really matters. I don't think
three if you count Dacon.
I don't think there's any comic that's worth $7.99. It needs to be like that's the price of a softback cover graphic novel, right?
Yeah, but have you seen the price increase across the board in Comixology?
Yeah. Oh boy.
Humble bundle awaits is all I'm saying.
Yeah, it feels like it.
So yeah, but yeah, one of the Wolverine comics costs a lot. Whichever Wolverine there's that. Yeah, there are 3 Wolverine now.
Do you mean like comic series or characters?
I think there's at least 2 series because there's one about Logan, there's one about Laura. I don't know. Dacon doesn't have his own comic because he keeps dying and coming back.
Is it Drake?
It's
something. His son, which no one ever talks about.
Who no one likes. No one even likes the character. Oh, and there's a 4th Wolverine as well. There's the Poison Wolverine.
There's Old Man Logan as well. Unless you mentioned him. Oh, he's gone.
Yeah. But there's Poison Wolverine, who is the Ultimate Universe Jimmy Hudson, who was the son of Logan, who's been possessed by a poison from another universe, which is kind of like the anti-symbiote.
Isn't that anti-venom?
No. These are the poisons.
Ooh, I'm rubbing my temples, Mike.
And I know about these because they did show up in a halfway decent series where their main goal was to possess the Monsters Unleashed characters, who are the kaiju heroes.
Oh my god, what are you even saying? Are you speaking English?
Yeah, yeah, there's a bit where a symbiote possesses one of the kaiju.
Oh my god.
And it's the really dramatic friendly one, who's constantly screaming about how he will bring his terrible gentleness upon you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
By the way, read Monsters Unleashed, people, if you haven't had a chance. It's a really good book. But, yeah. Not the best crossover, but I like anything where a gigantic monster punches Thanos through a wall.
Okay.
But not our Thanos, Poison Thanos, because they're from an alternate reality.
Oh my god.
But they did
what a fucking mess.
They did. It is canonically that Godzilla-side monsters beat up Thanos.
As you do.
Yeah. And also beat up a monster that beat the Amadeus Cho version of the Hulk.
Right.
When that was a thing. Who is like a weaker version of regular Hulk.
Okay.
Also read Immortal Hulk. There's another thing. Anyway, rambling. But we've got 3 main comics today, and for the Patreon show, we're diving deep because while the Transformers vs. Terminator book is starting to come out, obviously it's been delayed, and it's clearly, having read issue 1, it's one of those books that is going to be paced a bit like the other crossovers, in which case it's better to do it all as one book.
That's fine. I don't mind that.
Yep. So we'll talk about it then, but just because I thought we'd keep it Transformers for today at least, because I don't know what's going to be in the next comic show. I thought we'd touch on the old G.I. Joe versus Transformers Devil's Due Volume 1. which is the first of 4 crossover books between the two characters when the licenses were held by Devil's Due and Dreamwave. So we're just going to touch on those. Again, it's a simple enough, quick one, but, keep it Transformers for you. So we're going to open up with Transformers issue 18, first of all. RC in Greenlight Run. Written by Brian Ruckley, art by Umi Meow and Bette McGuire-Smith, colors by Josh Burcham, letters by Jake M. Wood, and edited by Dave Mariotti, Tom Waltz, and Riley Farmer. I don't think we've had Riley before.
Don't think so.
No. And this is a standalone issue, following on from the previous 5-issue arc. And is really starting to show the problem with those standalone issues and the arc structure at the moment. But we'll talk about that in a minute, as the dog is trying to come in through the door.
I love you, Mikey. Bark, 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 bark.
Can I help you? No, go away.
But I love you, Mikey. I want cuddles and food.
Well, she's getting neither. Oh, mind your feet. I've got to go back where I was. I've got to go back where I was. Fuck off. No, that's not fucking off. You're doing the... Oh, for fuck's sake. Will you behave? Go sleep in the bed. Go sleep in the bed. You're not... No. Go on. We're on the bed.
Mikey lives a hard life.
I believe she needs the toilet. That's what this is about.
Oh, no.
I'll be back in a minute.
Okay.
Okay, so the issue starts with giving a bit of a backstory to the most recent Cybertronian-born Gage, who was born as part of a political move to cover up the fact that they just got one murdered. So she's been put with RC and Greenlight as her mentors, and they're taking her around Cybertron, showing her the sights and sounds. She's looking into architecture with Grapple. Everyone's kind of cautious because the whole rubble thing is still fresh in people's minds. But before they can really get into things, a gigantic space tether falls from the sky and crushes the local site of Ziacon, which is bad. Everything turns into a bit of a panic. Arcee grabs Gage, drags her to safety. Her, Greenlight, and Gage are hiding. And when the dust settles, it's basically just sheer panic. Arcee and Greenlight decide that they are going to get off the planet. They are going to join the various groups that have now decided they've had enough of Cybertron. Ultimately, Gage gets very curious, ignores a lot of warnings, runs off. She runs off to the remains of an Energon storage facility. Strongarm tries to stop her, and then poor old Gage is hit by a blast. And when I say blast, I mean someone shot her. And Arcee is not happy. Arcee, it turns out, who is like a former war hero, goes in and beats the shit out of a not repentant gut cruncher. Ultimately, after she trades blows, she basically takes out these guys, decides she's going to join the Reversionists, takes Gage and Greenlight to the ships that are about to leave. They basically force their way onto the ship, and as the ship is taking off, Arcee is almost left behind, but she manages to make it on, as you do, because it had to be the last minute, as she hugs what I'm presuming is her girlfriend, or wife. It's implied, but never outright stated. And then they leave, and they face the future together.
Yep.
And this is all set up for Transformers Galaxy issue 7.
Is it?
Yes, because the next arc in Transformers Galaxies is about Arcee, Greenlight, and Gage.
Oh, okay.
I ran through this pretty quick because
No, I think you were going slow.
The thing is, when we were deciding what to review for this show, I told Andy the issues, and then Andy came back, so we're not doing issue 18. And I said, yeah, we are. And I said, no, we're not. What about, the RC story? And I said, there's an RC story?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, didn't we do that?
No. Not as far as I'm aware.
I did not find this memorable. I would say this might be the weakest story Brian's done.
Maybe, yeah.
And it absolutely killed the momentum from the last issue.
Yes.
If you're going to do this arc and a break issue, you need to conclude the arc. Or at least make it clear that you're concluding an arc. It didn't feel like... Because what happened was the Vigilum dropped the tether, and then suddenly we're like, and now it's a story about 3 people caught in the middle of it all.
Ah, but Mikey, surely in issue 19, we'll pick up with the end of the Vigilum fight, right? Right?
Hi, Andy.
Hey, Mikey. Why aren't you telling me the answer I want to hear that I already know? Because I've read the fucking comic and I know there is no conclusion. It just stopped.
Is it wrong that this is the thing I'm taking away from all this is that I'm going to reread the Phase 2 era soon? Yeah, no, this is unfortunately not, for me, not a high point. I'm not crazy about the art either.
No.
It's overall fine, but it's got proportional issues that I kind of wish would, because no one's new on it. Like Umi Meow, she's done a small comic before, for the Curators book that came out last year.
Oh right, okay.
But I'm not crazy about her style, and I feel like Beth Smith, her approach to art is having that. Give me a still image, I'm fine. If I've got to make it more complicated than that, it's a bit more troubling.
Did you have difficulty, like, looking at RC's head and recognizing it was RC's head?
Sometimes it looked weirdly masculine.
Incredibly. Like, I thought most of the time, if you took that head off the body and you asked people in general just to look at the head design, who this character was, I think people would either go for an uncolored swoop head, from certain people who like almost a Nick Roche head but with smaller eyes, or you could go with blades maybe, but it did not emulate an RC head at all, at least in my eyes.
Yeah, no, it was weird. It's just like they took a male robot's head and put it in RC's body.
Yeah,
and I'm including all RCs in this. Like,
oh, totally.
Every RC, even when we see a picture of, like, the only RC that doesn't look like this is when RC was identical to Galvatron. It didn't work for me. It didn't work for me art-wise. And the story I didn't find engaging because it's mostly a chase scene, for want of a better term. Like, they're running... I never like stories which are we're running away from a disaster. Like,
I don't know.
I don't like Shin Godzilla that much because that is what Shin Godzilla is with political commentary.
I don't know, Dante's Peak, Volcano, they're pretty fun and stupid. Independence Day, I know you don't like... I like them movies, but they're not
Andy.
Good.
Don't start me, Andy.
So, oh man,
don't start me.
2012, have you seen 2012?
Oh.
The big giant boats.
You're a bad person.
The big giant boats. Oh, it's a stupid film.
Basically the Roland Emmerich School of Filmmaking.
Yes, yeah.
Holland. This was a chase interrupted by a bit of we should stay, we shouldn't stay. Oh, we're leaving. Okay, save the baby. The baby's safe. Okay.
That's
cool.
it. Also,
they saved the baby. Who is the baby? What do we know about the baby?
That she doesn't know that she was created because somebody died, and RC gets very arsey about somebody telling the baby the truth. Because I read that scene and I was like, the only reason I was born was because someone died. I read it and said out loud, well, yeah, that's true.
You are literally a replacement baby.
Yeah, it's not a nice thing to say, but
no,
it's true.
I would assume it's public knowledge.
Yeah, I would have thought so as well. Maybe apart from to the baby. I like
she was wondering why everyone was whispering around her all the time.
You're only alive because somebody died. What was that? Nothing.
We liked Rubble better.
Who said that? Who said that?
Who said that? RC just drops from a window.
There was a lot of promoting how strong
somehow RC ends up crazier than the last RC at some point.
There's also this weird thing of making RC very strong as she takes like a good few stun laser blasts, I suppose, to the body, and then also takes a shot to the side of the face, of the jaw, and shrugs it off like it's nothing. Now I don't mind like having the stun shots not do a lot to RC. That's fine. But having basically a headshot, even with a stun gun, and it not affect her, I don't know. Is it me or is that a bit extreme?
I don't know. I don't know. Again, if this was a different RC, I maybe would let it go.
Yes, because it would have been almost established up to that point, because that RC was ridiculous.
The RC would have headbutted the stun blast. It would have exploded and just oh, son, you made a mistake. But this is a brand new RC. You did not... And this is an RC who has not had any character development in the last 18 issues. I don't know. I also wouldn't say, apart from the going, ooh, RC can take a punch, there's not a lot of character development for anyone in this.
No. I don't know anything about Greenlight.
No. She is RC's girlfriend.
Yeah.
She is her property. She owns her. That's the kind of...
Oh, damn.
I've just basically turned it into a really abusive relationship. I want to stay on the planet. No, you don't. I want to leave the planet. No, you don't.
RC does seem to have one of these, quite violent turns here and there. So, maybe. It's not Tailgate Cyclonus, though.
Tailgate punch first. Everyone looks at me weird when I say that, but read the comic. Tailgate punched first.
Oh, yeah.
Cyclonus punched harder, but Tailgate punched first.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Tailgate punched pretty hard. Remember half of his body missing?
Oh, yeah.
Tailgate punched pretty hard.
Oh, dear. And then suddenly Cyclonus was the one with the problem.
That's right. It's I think this comic would have only been I would have taken 3 pages from this. Maybe no, 3. I would have had the establishing shot on Cybertron of Gage and RC and Greenlight chatting, having a good time talking about numbers and woo-woo on the planet. Then I would have had the tether falling and them all screaming, and that would have been it. That would have been part of the comic that ties up the last issue. That's how I would have had it. Because then you could, then have the first issue of Transformers Galaxies be, them on the ship and then reliving them getting out of there. And then you could cut them... You can cut out the weird out-of-nowhere fight between the looters, which served no purpose about to show RC is very strong, and shows that they were able to rush to the ship. It doesn't seem like it was a worthwhile issue. I felt nothing coming out of it, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I would say it's the weakest one Brian's done.
Yeah, and that's saying something, because we've had a previous one where we've said that as well, I think.
I was just really underwhelmed by this. Really underwhelmed. Like I said, the art didn't really do it for me. Just no, I'm not pleased with this as an issue. I'm giving it a 3.
I'm trying to think of a reason to give it higher than 3. It's not awful. It's not the worst thing ever, so it's unfair to give it a 2, because the artwork was, although not perfect, it was competent in places, and the whole RC not looking like RC isn't really a good thing. Fine. I think 3 is a fair score, at least from clearly from our perspective. Yeah. As it's just if you didn't read the issue, you miss nothing. It feels like you've missed absolutely nothing.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. In which case, we'll move on to issue 19, which is the start of the new arc, Rise of the Decepticons, Part 1. With what I think might be her first appearance, or at least her first significant appearance. Windblade shows up at Ratchet Medical Center. She's been cleared for... No, of course, it's not her first appearance. She got blown up there, ages ago, didn't she?
Yeah, when they were in the tower talking to Cyclonus or something.
Or something like that. And she got blown up.
Yes.
Okay, because she knew Bumblebee at the very start of the book. It's just she has been such a small presence in this that I'd forgotten she was in it.
Don't worry, she has a very small presence in this issue as well.
Yes. She's going to Ratchet and sees that Ratchet is repairing a bunch of very badly injured robots, and lets her know that the tether has fallen. She rushes out to see it, and meanwhile Megatron and the Insecticons are sort of looking around going like, well, I never wanted to murder all these people, but they're fucking dead. And I like who's like, technically, this is all your fault. Just so you know, I'm blameless. He orders Jaxus, who's rebelling a bit, but he orders Jaxus to rally followers in Tarn. Raptrap is to contact infiltration troops, and Soundwave is to shut the fuck up. Broadly speaking, Soundwave is in the bad books. Megatron has getting some new guard recruits directly from the Rise, but he doesn't need Elita 1 as the Centicon leader anymore, and would like Bumblebee to have something fall on him. Elita is kind of outraged that Soundwave goes over his head bringing in recruits and then is told to fuck off. And Skytread is now the leader of the Decepticons. Bumblebee isn't particularly pleased, and he's put on a mission with Skytread. Bumblebee gets a call from Chromia when he's out of earshot. And he's distracted. He starts spying. He tries to dig out a stranded Cybertronian, but then it turns out the guy's already dead. And then, oh no, someone's watching him. Sentinel and Orion are watching Prowl escort the big scary Voin, the Voin Asserter in. And Naughty is like, this is bad. This is really fucking bad. Orion's trying to keep things under control, but he's not happy. Vigilum's disappeared. Because, of course, he can dis-a-fucking-peer. He's the size of a city. Yeah. Lodestar is injured. None of the other Titans have woken up. And the Winged Moon is basically gone. It's like unstable orbit, which means it's either going to hit the planet or leave the planet. Sentinel just wants to arrest Soundwave and break up the Rise. Orion is like, maybe we should be calm. No one's really happy. We need someone who can lead we need someone who can lead properly in this kind of military thing. The only one who could would be Pyra Magna, who is locked the fuck up.
Did we know that? Or is that a different lady who's locked in the ground?
Pyra's been mentioned before, passingly.
Okay, who was the robot who was locked into the big crystal-y thing who Prime talked to?
His mother, basically, or his mentor.
Okay, but we can't. Neither of us can remember her name, I'm guessing.
Yeah, no, okay. She's a new character.
Fair enough.
And then Sentinel goes off on a tirade, saying, like, I'm giving the Matrix to Ultra Magnus because he does what I fucking tell him. You don't matter. Shut the fuck up. Bumblebee is attacked by Catgut and Treadshot.
Isn't that a good name? I still love that Action Master name. Catgut.
Windblade and the security team assemble under Novastar. You probably have to cut this as I've lost my train of thought. Basically, they've decided that no more reacting to people like the Decepticons on the Rise. They're going to be proactive. They're going to start organizing counterstrikes. Bumblebee's having a bit of a rough time of it, but he is saved by Chromia, who also reveals that Catgut and Treadshot have lost the ability to transform.
Oh no! Did they give it up for more power?
I like it. That was the idea, and then no.
It just didn't happen.
Yeah, basically they were on Nucleon for so long it killed their transforming cogs.
Oh.
Yeah. Chromia tries to sort of pick poor old Bumblebee up, and he's like, nope, everything's dead. My friend is dead. My child is dead. You're all fuckers. Soundwave is having a bad time because it turns out Skystalker Vigilum didn't disappear. They lost him.
As you do.
They lost a city-sized robot that they are psychically connected to. Lost him.
Why would you show it, though?
Lost him.
You just talk about it in exposition.
Yeah. Lost him. And then it turns out Mindwipe, risers are being sent to the Decepticon guard. Sixshot's really pissed about. And Mindwipe has sent Visper and Stormcloud on a secret mission to continue his research, which, like, Shockwave is like, as much as I suppose Shockwave can gasp. Le gasp. And the issue ends. And we forgot to do credits for this one. Anna Malkova and Joanna Lofuente were the new people.
Is that all that happened in this issue?
Yep.
Like, really? Did nothing else happen?
Yep. Rise of Decepticons.
No, I'm not saying you're wrong either. It just feels like I read a lot more than what was actually summed up.
There's a lot of talking.
Yeah. And like I say, why you should probably have shown some of this stuff instead of just have people stand around talking.
Like have Vigilum give a quote from something and then have Skystalker get his brain blown out and then Vigilum leaves.
Yeah.
Or show Lodestar lying smoking on the ground as Lightbright is trying to get her up and running or something like that.
Yeah. How do you feel about the moon going out of orbit because the tether being cut?
Like, it's an artificial moon, I believe.
Is it? Okay, but wouldn't it still be held by the Cybertron's usual gravity? Because it's, it's still big.
I suppose you could say, like, well, it was always in a position where the gravity had a lesser pull on it.
Okay.
Maybe it was a case, like, I mean, I can maybe logic it by saying, like, they couldn't really get it in the perfect position, and that's why the tether existed. But it also, I just realized it just means they have another Luna 2.
Yeah.
Where it can, like, a disappeared moon, and we can go looking for it.
Oh, no. They need to stop losing these small planetary bodies.
It'll come back as Unicron, I'm telling you.
Oh, they're little mini Unicrons.
I mean, what's your overall thoughts on this issue? Because more does happen here than in the last one.
The bar you set is not high, my friend.
Are you limboing?
You're not lying. More stuff does happen in this issue. But like I say, it's just a lot of talking, a lot of exposition, and not a lot of interesting stuff. The catgut stuff, that wasn't too bad. I don't think that was too badly executed. But it was not the greatest. Man, they do a really bad job killing off Bumblebee. Right?
I mean, yeah, they were really shit at it.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't feel that this one held my interest as I was reading. I was just like, yeah, okay. It didn't feel like the start of a new story arc.
No,
it felt like an exposition issue that you get like if there was a year gap between this series and the last series.
Felt like we were missing an issue.
Oh, definitely, yeah. The whole what like we said, what happened with Vigilum?
What, they lost him, Andy?
They did somehow, like you say. He's small. He's easily misplaced. It's not like there was a psychic link,
or that everyone would be paying attention to the thing that ripped a hole in the planet.
Yeah.
Like, we turned our back at him for 5 seconds and he was gone.
Because when the people on that moon as well who were watching him tear down the tether, and they were like, "Oh no!"
Yeah, Wheeljack.
That's what I thought.
Know, such a guy who does not pay attention to details. Old Wheeljack.
Yeah, are they suggesting that Wheeljack and the people on that moon are lost as well, or did?
Oh my god!
Is it like Lost in Space but stuck on a moon?
Yes. No, I want that as a miniseries. I want Transformers Moon. I want the story of Wheeljack, and and poor Gears.
Gears, who starts to fly off into space at every point, so they have to tie a little rope around him.
Yeah,
like a balloon.
It can be like those stories where like the ship, it's on a locked course and we're always trying to get back to home or trying to redirect the ship or something like that. It'll be like that with the moon, but every time they get near a planet, Gears just starts floating off.
They do the Ulysses 31 intro, but with Wheeljack. That'd be great. Actually, I don't think it would be great, but it would be different.
Yeah.
There we go. That's my thought. That could be our new little adventure as they travel through unknown stars together.
Yeah, I'd read that.
Yeah. Well,
but like that's the crossover, because like we know at some point the Lost Light is going to show up in this, because there was no way in hell the Lost Light didn't jump into this universe. I'm just calling that now. That can be it. Wheeljack and Gears flying through space and accidentally hit the Lost Light, killing everyone aboard.
If it's just a one shot and it does that, I'd be okay with.
Megatron, half of Megatron floats by. I was bringing you love. That should be it. Megatron rings up. I bring you love. It's bringing love. Kill it.
Kill it. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Do you have anything else to say on this issue? Because it's just more nothing. A lot more nothing.
Yeah. Well, if nothing else, I've suddenly turned Rodimus into Zap Brannigan in my head.
That could be interesting, I suppose.
Ratchet can be Kif. Or, I'd say Drift could be Kif, but no.
It's too easy a pun.
Yeah. But yes, nothing much happens apart from the cat thing. The pacing, I'm really surprised the pacing hasn't improved.
And it really hasn't.
In fact, I'd say it's getting worse.
You think so? What makes you feel it's gotten worse?
Well, I think in the issue 17, the pacing was okay for a single issue.
Mm-hmm.
And I was interested in the individual side of things. But here, like, you're at the start of a new arc. I'm not grabbed by any of this. Is going to be in a trade paperback. This is going to be the first thing I see. What is about this is grabbing me? What are they're not really set. They set up the tether. Okay. There's a lot of Decepticons or Decenticons still. They don't do anything. They just say they're going to do something. There's a brief fight. Sentinel and Orion are yelling at each other. And there's a brief fight. This doesn't grab me at the start of an arc.
No. There's no hook, is there?
No, there isn't a hook. I'm disappointed. It's better than the last issue, but
because at least it feels mildly like it has something to do with something. I think that's why it's better than the previous one, which, like I said, was superfluous. This feels like it does have a place. It's just poorly done.
And like the stuff with the Void, I feel like that should be a bigger deal right now.
No,
like
you just see them in one panel, don't you? It's just there's the Void. It's like, oh, okay.
There's a. Why don't you have like, the Decepticons are setting up, and meanwhile the main story of this is the major political fallout of the tether coming down, which we could have, if we hadn't used the last issue as we had, we could have had the tether fallout. And then this could be like, okay, this is the political issue. This is about dealing with the tether, dealing with the Void who's here to find a murderer. Like, how are we managing these massive social issues? And all the while, the Decepticons are just building up in the background.
Yeah.
I feel that would have been much, much stronger than this.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not in love. I'm not in love.
No.
I give it a 4.
Yeah, again, I think that's fair. I didn't enjoy reading it, but like we said, it does feel like it has a little bit more to do with what we've just read. So, yeah, 4. It's not good. I wouldn't recommend anybody read it, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, sadly, I agree. In which case, guys, we will move on to Wannabe Part 2 from Transformers Wannabe.
I get it.
Wannabe. That is Transformers Galaxy issue 6, written by Kate Letton, Cohen Edenfeld, art by some fool. Alex Min, he's a very scary man. David Garcia Cruz on colors, letters by Jake Wood and Val Lopez. I don't think Val Lopez, I think, is new. And edited by David Mariotti and Tom Waltz. So this follows on from the last issue. It kind of highlights the fact that Bumblebee's been Cliffjumper has been has been living in Bumblebee's shadow since basically the day he was born. He is a leftover. Like, we get to see Bumblebee meeting his mentor, whereas Cliffjumper is just like, "Hi guys, anyone? Please?"
It's really sad. It's really depressing.
Basically ignored by Sentinel and yelled at by a Void.
Yep.
Cutting to the present, the Thesaurus is repeating his offer of not murdering Cliffjumper and drugging him up if he allows him to murder locals.
I'm not a bad guy. I mean,
listen,
come on.
I could have been Life Source.
It's my name.
You're all pigeonholing me.
Who called him Death Saurus in his forging day?
Yeah. Like, he was forged. This monstrous draconic thing comes out, and the first name, we're calling him Death Saurus.
I want to call him Dragonite. No, Death Saurus. I'm choosing my own name. Oh, we've spent ages with Dragonite.
We prepared we had a poll.
It was either that or Dratini. I'm not Dratini.
No, it should have been Trattini. I want that now. But yeah, basically, Cliffjumper said, "You murdered a guy in front of me. A corrupt politician, but a murder nonetheless. What you gonna do to people if I agree with you?" Jetsar says, like, either they can basically get out of my way or die as I burn their feces. He's not happy, and then Detsaurus points out Sentinel doesn't give a crap about this place. All they care about is getting their energon. They'll get their energon, and I'm not going to murder everyone. I'm going to murder a lot of them, and then they can keep on pooping so I can come back in years to come. Cliffjumper manages to escape, and then Detsaurus has had enough of it, and he basically goes around telling everyone that because they can't see him properly, remember, it's not actually Bumblebee, it's an imposter, a murderer, an accidental child kidnapper. Basically, an angry mob falls on Cliffjumper as he's trying to escape, and in the process, a baby Probat ends up inside his car, his car mode, and they don't take it well. And basically, the baby Probat is like, "You're clearly not competent enough to be dangerous." She's a real bitch, this one.
Yeah, we should straight to the point.
Yeah, no, I kind of like her, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because she's like, oh, well, this is going well. Basically, her and Cliffjumper go into hiding, and he basically points out that, oh, well, maybe you should fly away. And we find out that because she's a child, she still has her wings. What's been going on is that the guy that Detsaurus murdered, ever since the Cybertronians taken over, has introduced a policy that only the leader can have wings. So once you reach puberty, your wings are shredded.
Do we ever find out of how that was like agreed upon? Can you imagine
the line here where he said
country? Sorry, go ahead.
There's a line here where it says Natalis claimed that the Transformers said that only the leader can fly.
I don't know. That's a hard sell to the people, right? Okay, everybody but me, wreck your wings. And everyone's like, cool, we'll do that. Get out the knife.
Yeah. She's basically like, I just don't think you're competent enough to be a murderer. Also, there's a dragon.
Yeah, no one else seems to notice the dragon, do they?
they not until he's literally burning their homes.
Yeah.
Cliffjumper decides he's going to intervene. The baby Probat's like, fuck this. Makes him take her with him. He reveals that enough heat turns it into Energon. Detsaurus isn't going to kill everyone. He's just going to make it so that this can be his own. He basically seems to want to turn this into his own private food store. And then Cliffjumper goes right, drives up the sides of one of the towers, and Detsaurus is like, "Oh shit!" And then baby Probat jabs a bunch of energon into him, powering him up massively, and he drives through Detsaurus, who also ends up impaled on a big energon spire. At the end of it, Prowl and Chromia are grilling Cliffjumper as to what the fuck happened on a diplomatic mission, which ended up with one of their most noted diplomats impaled.
But still alive, I think?
Yes. And Cliffjumper's like, the energon's gone. And there was explosion. Pain, bad stuff happened. Very bad. Yay. But then Cliffjumper is saved by the bell, or the Bumble Bell in this case, as Bee passes by, and Chromie is like, well, I need to go worship on the pile of yellow people, but you better behave. I don't remember his name. You better behave, but Cliffjumper doesn't mind, because on Probat, the inhabitants who are now able to fly freely, because that was a really stupid rule, and have built a statue of the new savior, Cliffjumper. I wonder if they know his name. But the little girl is now basically sitting on him. I'm assuming she's about to become a tyrant. She's like, the Cliffjumper tells me as I sit upon him, you bring me all the food.
Forge your poo towers.
I have become a child tyrant and despot. Your wings are no longer shredded because of ancient ideologies. Your wings are shredded because you crossed me.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I'm taking your arms. I don't need them, but I want them.
I want a pile of arms.
I need a chair.
Yes. Oh, that's why they call it an armchair.
Yep. Also, I like the idea she just has spares. Listen, I could lose a hand at any point.
I need spares.
But we're doing all the manual labor. Yes, but I'm the one in charge. How am I supposed to clap your efforts if I don't have hands?
That's why you get to pay me to borrow these hands.
Listen, it's a very healthy rental fee.
Exactly.
Like really, I'm making you money.
I'm providing you a service by keeping your hands and renting them back to you for manual labor.
And then actually, like, give me your arms, and the Doom Dragon will return. She just cliff jumper, like she's still telling everyone that's the Bumblebee statue. She's taking entire credit for it. I killed the interlopers with my bare hands, but they may rise.
Convinced the bee to do this? It was I.
I am your king now. Honestly, I would like to see her back. I quite liked her.
She was fun.
Yeah. Also, there was what do you think of the issue, Andy?
It goes by at a breakneck speed and concludes very quickly.
Yes.
That is a boon and a negative as well. It's a boon because the recent issues we've had have been dragging their feet so slowly that this is a very nice change of pace.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
I am constantly. But the problem is it kind of whips through everything almost a little bit too quickly. Like Deathsaurus was kind of finished off incredibly quickly.
Yeah, he doesn't really do much in this.
No, because unless like Cliffjumper kind of surprised him, which it doesn't really seem like he does, because
he's driving up a big spire,
and he's all like Deathsaurus is talking to him, theoretically knowing where he is. In the 9-page panel where the Cliff's going up the side of the thing, I'm just like, fly to the left,
or fly forward.
Yeah. It seems to be rather avoidable rather than being like, whoa, boy, calm down.
Because he can turn, but I'm not entirely sure he can backflip.
No, exactly. So it seemed odd that, like, and for Deathsaurus to be like, whoa, calm down, buddy. Like,
whoa, we're all friends here.
Yeah, especially from the way that the last issue ended with him beating the shit out of Cliffjumper without much hesitation. It seems like a strange writing choice. Bit contrived in a way. It's not bad.
Yeah.
It just feels like it had to be wrapped up quickly, so that I guess we have to do it like this.
I think they wanted to set up the Probats and the chase, and I think it kind of... Deathsaurus kind of got pushed to the side in this one. I think he was very prominent in the first part of it, but I think here was kind of like, and now I kind of just... He's there to be an antagonist. He's not there to be a character anymore.
Do you think if we had one more issue where this issue, say, was the Probat, the setup for Cliffjump having to run away, and the explanation of the Probat with the development of the relationship between him and the girl, and then the next issue could have been the resolution. Like, this issue could have ended with, say, like, Deathsaurus burning the spires. It could have ended with that panel of him setting the thing on fire, and that would have been shit. Wait, and then we pick up from there. I think that I would have liked that more.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that.
Yeah, still good though. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it
much more than the previous two issues we just talked about.
I enjoy it. It looks gorgeous. I mean, Alex drew it, so what are you going to say?
Yeah.
I saw someone once say they don't like Alex's art, and I just did a lot of head tilting and saying like, so you're quite mad.
Did they explain why? Was it just that they didn't like it, or was it just?
I think they said it. No, do you know what they said? A bit too anime.
Okay, so that's like a style preference that they don't enjoy.
Yeah,
fine. If they said like technically it wasn't good, I'd be like, I'd like you to explain to me why it's technically not
like
good.
That time someone reviewed Unicron and said there wasn't enough detail in it. I remember that distinctly. It was one of those. It was the issue where it's like all the Cybertronians versus all the Maximals, and there's this gigantic 2-page spread, and Unicron's in the back, and I think Trypticon's in there somewhere, and they're just like, oh, there's not enough detail here. Really?
Do you remember the Unicron miniseries, Mikey? The series where Alex slacked off completely.
Yeah, where he phoned it in. Really,
he phoned it. All
Everyone
of those
did for
issues
that.
in.
Yeah, everyone did really. No one really put their best effort in.
Nope, not at all.
Nope.
Sense the sarcasm.
But I enjoyed this. I think the pacing is definitely an issue. I like the fact they did take time to make the Probats something more than just the alien of the day. They gave them a bit of a backstory.
Yeah.
But I agree, if we'd had one more issue, this could have been the backstory issue. Give her a name rather than be Baby Probat. Why is she so willing to believe him all of a sudden?
Yeah. I don't know. Apart from because she had to.
Yeah, because she had to. Same reason Dead Source goes out the way he does.
Yeah.
Also, there's a joke in here that is going to date this hilariously, where like Dead Source calls him Clickbaiter at one point because he can't get his name right. And I'm just like, that's going. There occasionally comics have jokes that date themselves massively. Marvel's after creating a couple of characters who are going to date themselves massively, and no one seems happy with them.
Yeah.
What did it? Snowflake and
Safe Space.
Like no one was happy with them.
No,
I didn't. No. Also, their designs are terrible.
Yeah.
Like someone saw G2 and said, "I can fuck that up."
That's not G2, Mikey.
No, but like it's the colors. It's the garish colors.
It does have the garish colors, but it's not 90s G2E, unfortunately.
Yeah. None of those designs are good.
No.
I saw someone go like, "Oh, everyone's mad because they've made one of the female characters in it larger," and I was like, you know what? She's probably got the best design, but the colors are atrocious. What's her name? I'm looking at pictures of it. Trailblazer.
I hear that she has Dora Explorer powers. I.e., her backpack holds anything.
I mean, I think Dora the Explorer is not particularly interesting, but sure, there are more bizarre powers in Marvel. Her fashion sense is really my problem. Also, Safe Space and Snowflake both have prominent bulges.
Do they? I'll take your word for it.
I'm just looking at pictures now, and Snowflake, I think, is supposed to be female, I think. But yeah, those are... Whoever designed these... Oh, good. I'm Googling and I've already found someone says, Marvel's gone too woke. Just like, okay. I believe the problem here is Marvel has gone colorblind. But, of course, someone just drew a picture of them that is just far, far better. Which is clearly supposed to be like taking the piss at them. But like, if these were the designs, I would enjoy this far more. Oh, I shall share. But yeah, so getting back on the issue at hand, I'd give this a 6, I'd say.
I think I'd actually go with a 7. It does have some pacing problems, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. And that's kind of how I'd rate the two issues, the Cliff Jumper mini, I suppose, back to back. It's weird because the Constructicons got a lot more issues to them, kind of an unfair amount of issues versus this Cliff Jumper story. But I enjoyed it. It was definitely a more fun read than the things I've been. The Cliff Jumper stuff's been the highlight of the recent Transformer readings, I would say. All two of them.
Also, if you can't tell by how rambly this show is at the moment, it's like Transformers comics are not largely engaging us at the moment.
No. Well, to be fair, it's not our fault. It's that there's not much to talk about in them, I don't think. There's no like deep things to talk about. It's only very surface like level exposition and then a very quick story in Cliff Jumper's case.
Yeah. I shouldn't be sitting here saying I miss the old RC. You should have engaged me in the new RC, but I miss the old RC. And I it's been almost 2 years now. We should not be saying that. 2 years worth of stories.
Oh my god, really? That's mad.
Or a year and a half at least. But because like we went through that few months where it's 2 issues a month. But we've had a lot of stories now, and it doesn't feel like it.
No, it really doesn't.
Anyway, we'll wrap up the main show there. Guys, thank you for listening. If you'd like to leave us any feedback, you can send me a message on Twitter as Irish Paleo, or you can send us an email at themoonbase2@gmail.com, or through the various other means we have for contacting us. Are any of you enjoying the comic in a great in a great bit. I haven't seen much talk about it in the last few months, so I don't know anymore. Andy, what about you?
You can find me on YouTube as Cobra Commander TFW. You can find me on Twitter, CCTFW. You can find us on the Moonbase 2 Twitter, iTunes, Facebook, Libsyn, YouTube as Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast. And if you want to hear the extended version of the show, you can head over to patreon.com/moonbase2. Do $2 each month.
Yep. And we'll give you lots of nonsense.
Woo!
You'll get tired of us after a while.
That's true.
But yeah, guys, thank you for listening. And if you're on Patreon, we will talk to you in a second. Bye.
Bye.
You are now leaving